As a Lakers fan, I want to like this shoe, but there's just one major flaw that I can't overlook. Tune into the video to find out what that flaw is. Yo, this is Ben from Release Expert. Today, I have a review for you guys of the LeBron 18 Lakers colorway. As you know, I am a Lakers fan, if you can't already tell, with all the Lakers stuff, the Lakers shirt, the Kobe jersey. I'm a huge Lakers fan. Sorry for any Laker haters out there, any Boston viewers. I'm sorry, but I have some insightful information about these shoes in case you're looking to buy. For this shoe, I'm going to mainly focus on the LeBron 18 opposed to the colorway, because I think that'd be more helpful for most viewers out there looking to purchase this shoe. From colorway to colorway, the tech and everything else, the performance is the same, just a variation of colors, materials. So really this review is going to focus more on the LeBron 18. With this colorway, we just have a primarily black upper with a purple heel and subtle hints of gold throughout the shoe. With the previous Laker models, with the 16s, that was more of a tribute to all the previous Laker jerseys. So there's subtle hints of purple, gold, yellow, and then blue from the MPLS times. With the 17s, we have a Lakers away color, very similar to this, but with more hints of gold throughout. So actually, the 17s are right behind me. There's also a 17 low, which is more of a Lakers home colorway, which is a primarily white shoe with subtle hints of purple and gold. So to start off, let's just talk about that price point. So this shoe does retail for $200. So it's pretty pricey for a basketball sneaker, but what you're really expecting to experience is the best tech out there. So what can you expect when you purchase this shoe? Now, this shoe comes in a pretty ordinary, boring box, I would say. Kind of that cardboard color with this slight hint of gray, with the strip saying LeBron 18, 2020 to 2021, just do it. BBZ, which I'm not quite sure, maybe it stands for basketball something. And 330, which is just the area code of Akron, Ohio. Looking inside the box, there are no accessories. Typically with these performance basketball sneakers, they don't include any additional accessories, which is, expected. Yeah, there's really nothing special about this box. And we can move on to the sneakers itself. So inside the shoe, let's take out the inserts. One thing we can see here, we have some pretty special inserts, and it's been pretty consistent throughout all the LeBron Laker themed shoes. So we have two pretty thick Ortholite insoles, which is typical of Nike. And on here, you could see there's a LeBron James imprinted on both insoles in that Laker font. And I know this type of font wears away pretty quickly. Nothing, too high quality, just screen printed on. And that's really it with what you can expect when you purchase this shoe. Before we move on to the next segment, one thing I want to share with you guys is a breakout of how this shoe is constructed. So I'm gonna leave that image right here, and we can talk about each piece of this shoe and how it's formed. So this shoe comprises of the Ortholite insole that gives you that step-in comfort. Below that, you have a full-length Zoom Air 10mm bag, and that Zoom Air bag is responsible for the responsiveness of the shoe. So if you don't know already, Zoom Air, which comprises of tensile fibers and air, so whenever you press on these tensile fibers, it springs back up and gives you that responsive feeling. On this shoe, we have a huge 10mm full-length Air Zoom bag. Below the Zoom bag is actually the midsole, which is made out of Nike's Cushlon foam, which is one of their softer foams out there. And what makes LeBron shoes so popular is the impact protection. The impact protection helps reduce all the impact that goes to your legs. And what's responsible for that great impact protection is that max airbag in that heel. If you feel this airbag, it's so stiff, really just stuffed in as much air as they possibly could without it bursting. You could definitely feel how protected your foot is whenever you land hard. You really don't feel much. So with this overall design, you have elements of that 3-step cushioning, right? The Zoom on top for the responsiveness, the Cushlon for that kind of structure and support, and you have that airbag for that impact protection. Moving on to materials, what you have on top is that Knit 2.0 upper. So it's just Nike's fancy name for this material that they created. The knit posit started with LeBron 17. This is just the second variation of it. So it's just these knitted upper that's breathable, yet also sturdy enough. So it's not giving in or falling apart. So there is a lot of structure to it. In terms of the heel, we just have standard TPU heel in the back. And then there's actually some subtle details on the heel. So taking a look, it says from the city of Akron, Ohio. So shout out to Akron. And then on the other side, I can't read out what it says, but the second part of it says 1984. So that's the year LeBron was born. Now moving on to this tongue, we have this really thin tongue that's made out of this nubuck material, which also feels kind of plasticky given its structure. But we have this unique tongue with 3 air units on it. So that's definitely a first, and that's actually something we're going to talk about later on. With the laces, we just have standard rope laces, pretty thick, but nothing too special. With this traction, from first thoughts, I wasn't expecting it to be anything too special. It's definitely a pretty unique design. So with the upper being this carton design, and then on the bottom, we have this diagonal diamond design with these little nubs on the heel. And I have to say, outdoors, this worked surprisingly well. I had no problems with slippage, and I was quite surprised. I was thoroughly surprised. The traction is a high point on this shoe. The only concern here is on the heel. If you look at this, I played in these for maybe a week, and I could see the heel already starting to fray and kind of mold out. So that's one thing you have to consider. These little nubs don't seem too durable, but that forefoot does. So if you're a 4-foot heavy player, you should be good. So with the fit, this shoe fits like most LeBron signature shoes. Definitely fits true size. My foot is a slightly wide foot, and I had no complaints with the fit. For the 4-foot, it was a bit tight. Considering it is a knit upper, I could definitely see the knit softening up. With the heel containment, there's actually 2 heel cushionings to help keep your heel contained. One thing I have to say is my heel still felt like it was slipping while I was playing in these. So even though there's the cushioning, it still maybe didn't work as ideally as I would like it to. If you have the chance, I would suggest you try these in store. These should be readily available in various colorways, but if you don't have the opportunity, I would suggest just going true to size. So before we proceed, I want to address the thing I've been teasing throughout this video, which is the major flaw with this shoe. This feature or design may be unique, but in my opinion, it's not very practical and it's very strange of a design. So what I'm talking about here is the tongue. So if you look at this tongue, as I mentioned earlier, these 3 air units, I don't understand the purpose of these units. Maybe it's to help with lockdown, but it's just strange to me why this would be on the tongue. But more importantly, the other flaw with this tongue is this material. This thin plastic nubuck material digs into your foot, and it just was not a comfortable fit. Even when I was playing in these, this tongue, since it's so thin and flimsy, it would slide around as I was making cuts, and it would just be uncomfortable. So I would just find myself readjusting the tongue pretty often, and I just don't understand the use of this tongue. Maybe in a lifestyle situation where you have some jeans that you're gonna wear, maybe this could help with that. But LeBrons usually have these bigger tongues, but they were never this thin, and they were never this sharp and rigid. So with this shoe, I would highly recommend that you do not wear these without either long pants or long socks, because this will definitely cut into your foot. So yes, that's the one big flaw in this shoe. So let's just talk about my final thoughts of this LeBron 18. When images first surfaced of this shoe, I thought it had a lot of potential. Just looking at the design, it definitely felt like this shoe was going back to LeBron 16, and it looked more like a mid-top to me opposed to a high top. So I was expecting a good fit first off, and secondly, I was expecting maybe some sort of new tech in the shoe, maybe some Zoom X. That might be asking for a little too much, but what we got is something that's tried and true, which is the huge Zoom airbag, and I can't complain about that. But in terms of that price of $200, I really cannot recommend this for $200. Unless you're a big LeBron fan, I would say definitely worth the price just to have his newest sneakers. But in terms of value, I don't see $200 being a good price for these. Now, I'm not saying I don't recommend these completely. I just don't recommend paying $200 for these up front. I would wait for them to go on sale and then purchase them later, because I do think there is some good tech. The fit is good. The overall design, I just don't like this tongue. But if you could get them for near 100 to 120, I think it's a good shoe to try out. But I'm excited for what's to come with these LeBron sneakers. So you know me, I'm going to cop that LeBron 19 Lakers colorway when it comes out. So be on the lookout next year for that review. If you have any questions on any of the shoes reviewed today, as well as any questions about LeBron sneakers, I'll try my best to answer your questions. Please like and subscribe. It really goes a long way with these videos. And thank you for all my current subscribers. And until next time, take care and go Lakers.